Previously on Oops All Bards. The Bards and Gideon arrive in Tabortsava and are greeted by Reyna, the Dragonsbane Thunderthigh, the general in charge of the camp at Tabortsava and the mother to one Cretaceous Thunderthigh. Gideon tells the Bards to keep busy while he and Reyna plan their next move and encourages them to help Captain Theseus Enchante, the base's head of revelry, who has convinced Reyna that that evening's pre-planned talent show should continue for the troops' morale. The Bards head to the mess hall where the dress rehearsals for the talent show are underway. Theseus, knowing the Bards have a top education in the arts, encourages the Bards to give feedback to the performers, which include a gnome whose observational humor falls flat, an elf with impressively showy archery skills, a half-orc who is quite talented with a yo-yo, a changeling who is also a quick change artiste, and a pair of dwarven drummers with a penchant for pyrotechnics. After the dress rehearsals, the Bards reconnect with Gideon and Reyna, and surprisingly, Clarice's mother, MJ Busborough. Clarice has a touching moment with her mother, and then the party heads out to rest up for the talent show. It's a good thing, too, because not long after the talent show begins, the lights go out, and the familiar voice of the deposed ruler Phineas Malveaux echoes around the room.
You wanted monsters all slain by their betters, but you ain't seen nothing like arts and letters. Look who has answered the cry of distress. Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess. You think we're a joke, but in truth we're all id. We fight like we learned it in books, 'cause we did. We all survived college with charisma impressive. Oops, it's all bards, and yes, it's excessive. If you're still confused, we'll explain to you thus. There's nobody left, so that's why they called us. We'll fight or we'll otherwise roll for successes. Oops, it's all bards. We hope that addresses all that you have to know to enjoy listening to our all-bard party sent off on a mission. How'll it go?
Well, we're sure you can guess.
Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess.
Endrick Harrowhold, Urvara Hall.
Belsornamiel, Flatley Hall.
Colonian Stumps, Saluver College.
Clarice Sauercloud, Talmadge Hall.
Cretaceous Thunderthigh, Sluvair College.
Welcome to Oops All Bards, the actual play podcast that does what it says on the box. I'm your host and game master, Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy, but if you call me anything other than Jill, let me assure you that I am, in fact, up to date on my vaccinations. With me are our Bards. Bards, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tateson Hadass, and I play Cretaceous Thunderthigh.
Hi, I'm Ann Coleman, and I play Clarice Sauercloud.
Hello, Ashley Banks playing Belsornamiel.
Hi, I'm Ross Curry, and I play Endrick Harrowhold.
This is Bob Kellyan. I play Colonian Stumps.
And I'm Nate Runkle, producer of Oops All Bards, and in honor of the finale, you may have my actual voice.
Bards! This is our season 1 finale, if you can believe it. But before we get started, let's remind ourselves of what happened in our last episode. So, for a short train trip, you sure were on that train for a long time in game time, and finally, at last, you have gotten off the train in Tabortsava. Cretaceous, you got a surprisingly loving greeting from your mother, who then led all of you to the base while she and Gideon caught up, and some of you reckoned with the fact that you'd taken your first lives on that train. On your way in, you also saw soldiers practicing both magical and practical combat, as well as marching and doing drills. You arrived at the base, and Gideon told all of you to keep yourselves busy, but before you could leave him and Reyna to do their planning, you were all approached by a tiefling named Theseus Enchante, who wanted to know if the talent show that had been planned for that evening since long before the attack at Mage and Marshall could still go on. Reyna said that nobody would be shipping out until the following day, so the talent show could proceed, and Gideon told all of you Bards to go help Theseus with dress rehearsals. Theseus was absolutely thrilled to have a group of bards who trained at Mage and Marshall there to help improve the show and encouraged you all to provide feedback to the performers. First up was Doomsart Bomber Clagnus, who, as his name suggested, absolutely bombed his observational stand-up set. Then there was Vestrin Dollingdallen, an elf who put on an electrifying archery performance with his rat familiar, shooting decreasingly small fruits in increasingly creative ways, and getting a couple of you kind of hot under the collar. Vestrin was followed by Drawl, aka Shy Guy, a half-orc with mad yo-yo skills, and an impressive dose of stage fright, who you all encouraged to at least perform maybe, I don't know, facing the audience. Then there was a changeling named Jan Chameleon Deek, who performed a quick change act in which she changed not just her wardrobe, but her very appearance. And finally, were Bastrolda Thunder Mountain Brew and Yamet Lightning Dimguard, two dwarven drummers who put on a brilliant finale complete with pyrotechnics orchestrated by Theseus themselves. You spoke to, and let's face it, flirted with some of the entertainers between their sets, and then when the rehearsal was over, went back out to link up with Gideon and Raina, and surprisingly, you saw Clarice's mom, MJ Busborough. Clarice, you and your mom had a tearful conversation during which you let down both your guard and your vocal fry, and she told you when all of this is over, she wants you to join her in the family business. Then you all headed as a group to get a little rest before the talent show, mostly because your GM told you that maybe it would be a good idea to get a long rest in. I don't know. Maybe. Theseus woke all of you up so you wouldn't miss the show and seated you in a place of honor right at the front of the theater. Clarice, you asked your Uncle Gideon if there was a shield set up to protect the audience, especially him, from some of the more dangerous acts on stage, but Gideon seemed pretty unconcerned. Belle blessed the stage, and then Theseus came up to welcome everyone in the audience, and when they left the stage, the lights went down ahead of the first act. And then the lights stayed down. And then you heard Phineas Malveaux's voice fill the room, and Gideon let out a scream. And we're going to start right there.
Uncle Gideon, what happened?
Are we in, like, free action, or?
You're in free action, but it is dark, and Malveaux is about to start talking again.
And could you just remind us where Gideon was in relation to all of us?
Gideon is in the front row with all of you. I would say that probably you tried to flank him as you came and took your seats so that he wasn't, like, off on an end more vulnerable.
I have the dancing lights cantrip.
Okay.
So I'd like to, like, as soon as I hear Gideon go, just lighting up to see what is happening around him. I can create 4 torch-sized lights within range, making them appear as torches, lanterns, or glowing orbs. Obviously, they're sparkly glowing orbs. They hover in the air for the duration. Each light sheds a dim light in a 10-foot radius, and the range and area is 120 feet.
I will tell you that the lights are not as bright as they normally would be from this cantrip.
Okay.
But you are able to at least send them over to see Gideon, who is clutching his head with his elbows resting on his thighs in the seat. But it does appear that he's okay.
Okay.
The echo shards, the voice from the echo shards continues.
I see the Busboroughs are here. Hello, MJ. So nice to finally put a face to the name of the woman who helped mastermind my demise. Too bad that hubby of yours isn't here to say goodbye. But then again, nobody let me say goodbye to Lucinda either.
It's like the comedy roasting where they just like look down the dais like, and
I see
Ralph
so-and-so
Macchio's here.
And MJ also lets out a short, sharp shout.
Where is she in relation to Gideon?
She's next to Gideon.
All right, so we can probably see her as this is happening. So, do we see?
She clutches her head and screams.
Okay, so this is psychic attacks, probably.
Yeah, if we're not seeing them like bleeding or anything, I think
we're not seeing any
I
projectiles.
think we would pick up that there's something psychic going on here, not.
Speaking of Lucinda, I've heard that she's getting along quite well with Triarch Thistleodora, and I have it on good authority that the other 2 traitors, I mean Triarchs, Harry and Cantrell and Carlotta Abledown, are on their way to Shalamir. That's thanks to your husband, MJ, and your dad, Clarice. Once they get there, I'll be able to eliminate the entire executive branch of this so-called republic in one definitive blow. Of course, I can't risk the military intervening, but then I think if you go outside, you'll find that that's not going to be very likely.
And the lights go back up, and there is the sound of an explosion from outside.
That's it for now, everybody. Just, next time you hear from me, I'll be back in my rightful place in Shalamir, and, well, one last thing. Stormcaller's bodyguards, come visit me sometime. I've been monitoring your work the last few days, and it's very impressive. There are jobs for you in my administration if you want them. Except for the busboro girl. Her fate is already sealed.
Outro music.
I've never had a job, and I don't plan on starting that.
You see Theseus run up, sprint to the door of the auditorium, and, everyone, I don't mean to alarm you, but, all of our munitions facilities are on fire. That was the explosion that you heard. Cretaceo, you were going to watch your mom, who had been standing off to the side, quickly call the troops to order and lead everybody outside because she believes that this is the harbinger of an incoming attack. Gideon and MJ are sitting there holding their heads in pain. And Gideon says, "There's an internal Echo Shards comm system on the base. I think that broadcast must have been coming from here. I need you all to go see what's happening. Clarice, I'll take care of your mom."
Well, wait, hold on. I mean, this is a base full of soldiers. Surely, I mean, there should be somebody, people with weapons and training should go to the comm center, right?
Cretaceo, think about it. We want them doing their other jobs. We're the only people here who can do a side quest.
Yep. The finale of Oops All Bards continues, right after these messages from our sponsors.
Cretaceo, you would know from growing up on the base that the comm center is at the top of the watchtower that is at the perimeter of the base. It's not very far from where you are.
Okay.
I feel like this is information that anybody who grew up with the Echo Shards would know, but is it a situation where somebody from within the auditorium could have been making that announcement, or is it that it has, is it a one-way radio situation?
It's a one-way radio situation, but it was being broadcast from somewhere on base, because those are, in order to get, the way that the Echo Shards have been repurposed over the years is more like a radio. You have to turn them on and off. Mm-hmm. The emergency alert component is that's a central command thing that is only able to be turned on in certain places and is usually site specific.
Okay, so it wasn't like somebody was Theseus hypothetically being in the wings and making the announcement. Okay, just checking.
No.
Okay, Keylonian, roll a 13 intelligence check, and he's going to roll an insight check as he goes up of 23. As he goes up to Gideon Stormcaller and puts a hand on Gideon's shoulder and says, "I'm sorry, but I need to ask you a really important question. What kind of food did you eat when we were on the train?"
I had a brownie.
And what did we fight when we were on the train?
Porters?
Okay, I think Gideon was not replaced with a changeling during the darkness.
Oh, that's good.
That was smart.
Sorry, I thought you were making a reference to the movie Airplane. What did...
No, I seriously thought that's why I rolled an intelligence check, because I was like, would Keylonian think of this?
Yeah.
But yeah, he gave a yelp and then was like, yeah, I'm okay, and we just saw a changeling recently.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Very smart.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going like the brownies were poisoned or something.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say,
he had some bad
Clarice's mom didn't have any.
No.
Airplane.
Yeah.
I've seen that one.
Clarice wants nothing more than to get whoever just hurt her mom and her uncle.
Okay.
So she, regardless of anybody in the group's response, is fully dagger in hand, pointing it at Cretaceo, saying, "Lead the way."
All right. We can do this. We can do this. Let's go.
All right. You walk out. There is chaos and commotion outside, partly because the soldiers are assembling and prepared, but there doesn't actually seem to be any sort of enemy there for them to fight. So they are assembling, but they do not entirely understand why. You head in the opposite direction from where they are heading. And could somebody roll a nature check?
Keylonian's pretty good
Okay.
Non-natural 20.
It is darker than it usually would be. And because of your non-natural 20, you know that it's a new moon. So it is going to be especially dark outside for what is happening. And
Belle is bringing the dancing lights with them.
I think that's fair. And I think that in the shadow of the dancing lights, then, you see a black cat crossing your path. You continue on across the yard, heading toward... I'm getting a look from...
I'm just surprised nobody had a response to that cat.
There are a lot of mice on military bases.
Ashley Banks, as a player's immediate response was...
Yeah.
I feel like that would be Belle's response, too.
Yeah, okay. So, I do think that Belle is like, Kitty, come here. We want to make sure you don't get hurt. Come on.
The cat is just going to, rub against your leg and keep walking. I'm not even going to make you roll an animal handling
Belle's
check.
100% going to try to pick up the cat.
Okay, now you have to roll an animal handling check.
Listen. 11?
The cat jumps out of your arms and runs off into the darkness.
Okay, well, I tried.
All right. So you start to head toward that tower. As you are just about to open the door, you hear Malveaux's voice. It is not being projected through something. It sounds as if it is right behind you. Well, hello there, Bards. As you turn around, you do not see Malveaux. You see Vesrin Dollingdallin.
God damn it!
Damn it! Yeah. Above table, I think we were all picking up.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can't live in hope.
But he was hot, so we were willing to let it slide. And that's the lesson here.
Your attractiveness will only get you so far with us, my friend.
Your evilness will only make you more attractive.
How far away is Vesrin from the person who is closest to Vesrin?
10, 15 feet. And as you turn around and clock him, he kind of rubs something between his fingers, and a dome appears around all of you. It is not the same sort of energy dome that appeared in Shalamir at the commencement ceremony. It is... Oh, yeah. It's
still under there.
It is smaller, and you can tell, whereas the other dome acted like a Faraday cage and blocked any sort of magic happening in it, you can tell that magic is still allowed to happen inside of it, because it has to be, because Vesrin is in there with you. And as the dome comes around you, everything on the outside is blocked out. The 5 of you plus Vesrin are in a dome that is a mere 20 feet in diameter. Which is going to make any sort of ranged attacks or spells happen with disadvantage.
Heck yeah, the archer did that.
And I will tell you this because it is time to roll for initiative.
Let's go. Let's go.
I have an important question.
Yes.
Where's Angel?
By default, Angel would generally be with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
So Angel is with me, I would say.
Cretaceous, what did you roll?
Nat 20 for a total of 23.
Clarice.
Nat 20 for a total of 28.
Oh boy. Belle.
Nat 2 for a total of 7.
Andric.
14 total.
Killian.
10.
And Vesrin is 7. So Vesrin and Belle need to roll off. So Belle, roll again, please.
17.
All right. So you're staying at 7, and we're putting Vesrin at 6.
The showdown continues when Oops All Bards returns, after this brief ad break.
So now that we've got our initiative, I'll tell you that before we actually start initiative, Vestrin is going to start speaking.
Is he villain monologuing?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're about to get your James Bond exposition dump. So as you turn and see Vestrin, hi there. Y'all are real impressive. I've been keeping tabs on you, not just since you got here to Talbot Sava, but since the commencement ceremony. And I'd like to make y'all an offer. You see, my name isn't really Vestrin Darling-Dallin. Darling-Dallin means Bad Valley, which is also what Malveaux means. My father is Phineas Malveaux, and my mother is Lucinda O'Cour.
Clarice just can't keep the laugh inside. She just immediately is like, oh, that's rough.
We all look at Clarice laughing like, is that supposed to, she's supposed to do that?
And Andric gets the joke too and starts like...
That sucks so bad. Oh, dude.
We don't even have to cast vicious mockery.
And Vestrin is just going to...
And we thought Bomber was bad.
Oh my god.
Silence!
I'm sorry.
At least he can anagram his name, though, so, like...
It's a real Tom Riddle situation.
Yeah. Trace is going to keep the laugh, like, try to get it going more.
I'm sorry. She never laughs. This is a lie.
I am so very glad y'all think it's funny that my father is dead.
Well, he's not dead. They were in your house a few days ago.
We just need a moment.
So Vestrin is just going to outweight you.
Eventually, we're going to just calm down.
Yeah, and like, just completely impassive.
Okay, all right.
I have to imagine that, like, we calm down, and then, like, he opens his mouth, and we just start laughing.
I'm sorry. What was your last name? Dawning. I'm sorry. I know that's not cool.
Y'all heard my last name earlier.
How long did you think about that pseudonym? Like, did that take you a long time?
Did y'all figure out the name? I don't think so.
Oh, don't be so grouchy. My name's like that too, but you, like, whatever.
My name is Sernamiel.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I first heard. That's just last name. That's just surname.
Yeah, so I don't think any of y'all have any place making fun of my name.
All right, but, like, I didn't pick mine.
Neither did I. My mom picked it.
That's worse.
Well, you see.
Stumps.
Okay. Listen. I get it. Your parents were super mean. Now you have a complex. But, like, we all have dumb names. Like, it's fine.
Do you
You're
want
super
to
hot.
know
It's
about
okay.
my offer or not?
I mean, do we?
Yo. This is hilarious, but like, let the little doobie do his thing.
Okay. Give us your offer. Elevator pitch, go.
My father really is dead. He's not back. That's me.
Duh.
Yeah, thanks. I was raised in exile by my mother, who has been grooming me for this moment my entire life.
Oh my god, grooming is such the appropriate word. You have clearly been indoctrinated.
Your whole life has been prepared for this moment.
I'm so sorry.
Stuck in a bubble with a bunch of people laughing at you.
We, like, just graduated. You know that, right?
Not this particular moment.
This is the most tragic thing
Not
I've ever.
Not.
Oh my god, you guys, just let him go. Sorry. Let him go. It's gonna be amazing.
Let you go.
Not this particular moment. The moment when I will ascend as the leader, the premier of Urvara.
Dude, how old are you?
He's older than you guys.
Okay, but, like, what are your credentials, though? I want to hear more.
My credentials is that I am the rightful heir to this country's throne. I've been under this assumed identity my entire life. I went to Major Marshall where y'all went. And then I enlisted in the army. And I got in to your mom's inner circle, Cretaceous.
Was that at your mom joke?
The harder we're trying not to laugh.
Cretaceous face.
Yeah. Like, oh no. I mean, that was.
When I go home on leave, my mom and I were continuing to plot the eventual incursion that you experienced at commencement. And if I recall correctly, some of you have some loved ones who are under that dome, so I do recommend you stop laughing and just listen to me. You know what? Just
Guys, he's talking about my mom, okay? Just let him...
I'm talking about several of y'all moms, actually, but,
Oh, that might have helped Bomber's routine if he did more mom jokes.
Yeah, that would have... I mean...
You guys, okay. I know I started this. But, like...
Continue.
This time tomorrow, I will be the leader of this country. Y'all can join me in my administration, or you can die.
I'm sorry, what positions do you see us having in your administration?
Are you seriously considering this offer?
No, I'm just genuinely curious. We're bards. What could we possibly do for you? How do we work into your master plan? Because if we do, is it that good of a plan?
Yeah, I mean, like, we're really good bodyguards, but he kind of has a point.
I doubt you have a job for Angel.
No.
Secretary of Defense.
Clarice is gonna size up Vesserin. And Clarice, unlike the others who have just spoken, actually does know exactly why she would be an asset to an administration. So she gets that this is serious now. But in hearing that this offer is basically join or die, Clarice is going to use sort of other people's reactions and disinterest as an opportunity to just strategize a little about her physical position relative to Vesserin and this dome, and actually is going to try to not like with no assumption that it would be discreet, is just going to shift her weight a little in a way that brings her a little closer to the edge of the circle dome thing that's around us, understanding that Vesserin is going to clock it, but she is in a different headspace now. This is gonna be a problem.
Belle's gonna raise her hand.
Yes.
Okay, so, like, you're gonna kill everybody, right?
Only the people who don't immediately capitulate to me.
What would my position be?
What do you want it to be? And he's being very flirty all of a sudden.
She's flirting right back. She, like, twirls her hair. She's like, I can think of several.
So can I.
Okay, I'm in.
Well, that was easy. What about the rest of y'all?
Clarice is gonna cast, do an insight check on Belle.
Belle is gonna, like, move closer to Vesserin, assuming. Like, she's gonna go and, like, turn so that she is facing her bodyguards side by side with Vesserin.
I will say above the table we're not gonna re-roll initiative, but I'm gonna redo, like, counting initiative because this is all happening out of initiative. And
Yeah. So my insight check was an 18, and what I was specifically checking for is if I sensed any of Belle's, like, combat energy in this. I have known Belle long enough to know that I can't actually tell when she's lying or not, so that's not even what we're trying to do. Just so much as has she assumed a position that makes her more of a threat to Vesrin?
Belle?
I think she has not, actually. I think she has her chakram out because she took them out as soon as things started going down.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she is standing next to Vesrin, pretty casual, maybe, angling toward him a little bit, but in a bust-first manner.
Okay.
Gaining just that impression, Clarice is gonna do whatever additional inching she can to the other side of Vesrin, not knowing if she is fighting both or one, but knowing that she is gonna be fighting.
The final battle begins after Oops All Bards returns following these brief messages.
Above table, may I briefly retcon something real quick? During the whole fit of us laughing throughout the monologue, specifically Andric having observed Clarice's interaction with her mother previously, during the laughing, Andric braces himself on Clarice and quietly whispers into her ear, "I see what you're doing, and I respect that," and casts heroism on Clarice.
What does that do?
You're imbued with bravery, and you get 3 temporary hit points at the start of every turn.
Nice.
Now temporary hit points do not stack, so it can only, but every round, you're just going to have a pool of 3 extra hit points.
And with that said, Clarice, it's your turn.
Clarice has been holding a dagger in her left hand, but as she moved closer to the side of the dome, she was just patting her pocket with her right hand, and trying to get a little bit of a corner of the piece of fabric that's in her pocket.
Oh.
The O.
Oh.
And with what she is sincerely hoping will be an impressively acrobatic gesture.
No.
She's going to attempt to leap onto Vesrin with the portable hole extended in her hands.
Okay.
Our DM questions every choice that has led her to this moment.
So, Clarice's process for this is going to... She doesn't want to end up in the hole herself. So she is trying to get it flat on a surface. But she's kind of trying to, if you imagine, because she's very small and very bouncy, right? Her idea is a diving roll over Vesrin, where she's holding, with both hands, the portable hole. And she is going to dive over him and ideally clip him with her feet, such that he falls onto the portable hole as she unfurls it onto the ground.
If only you had a huge acrobatics modifier.
If only you had somebody
who is her cheer partner and basically knows how to help her do this.
If
On the
only
other
you had
side.
somebody who has a +10 to acrobatics in your party.
I mean, Clarice is very intentionally diving towards Belle in this moment because Belle has already helped her to shift her body in acrobatic ways through air ducts and so on.
Okay, I'm going to allow it. And I'm also going to allow Belle to treat this as a reaction.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
Can you just imagine?
Because otherwise,
I am second to last
yes.
in initiative. So you just hit the ground and then a solid minute later, I'm like, I'll catch you.
So before you roll, I'm going to tell you what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I need an acrobatics check of at least 16 from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I need an 18 from Belle to see if she's able to hold the other side. And if so,
We'll find out if so.
Yes.
If so.
Okay.
It is worth noting I do have advantage on acrobatics.
Okay,
checks.
well, roll twice.
That one was not successful. Load on the dice. My second roll was a 13.
With your modifier?
Yes, that is with
Okay.
my modifier. So, what I have in my head as happening, should this fail, and please feel free to respond how you see fit, but I think what it would probably look like is that I could not get high enough with my jump, so I have just pulled out a black sheet of fabric and jumped a little. Like a little hop.
Yes.
A very ferocious hop.
I think that's fair. And I'm going to have Vestrin roll a wisdom check to see if he has any idea of what you were actually trying to do.
Okay.
That's as a reaction. And he rolled a 9, and he's -1 on wisdom, so he has no idea. He's just like,
Nobody knows what's going on.
what are you doing?
It's like a bullfighter, you know, like the fabric, like andale.
Yeah, no, I'm not a bull.
And Clarice is gonna say, okay, fine, and just sort of gently place the fabric on the ground in front of her as though she is disarming.
Belle's gonna be like, oh my goddess, Clarice, now you're just like embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing me. Like, can you not?
So now we're going to fight this highly trained evil guy with a giant pit in between all of us.
I see no problem with this.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Is it 10 feet in diameter or 20 feet in diameter?
10.
Okay, great. Because 20 feet would be the entire circle.
Pit fight, pit fight.
Okay. All right. Clarice has laid her blanket down basically in the center of this dome that you are all in. And it is Cretacio's turn.
Okay. So when Clarice laid down the portable hole, is it like visibly active now?
Because it's an extra dimensional hole, there is nothing visible. Like, you can't see into it. It is like Vanta Black, right? Like, there's
Right,
no
yeah.
seeing through.
Like, I guess, but is it active? Like, if I
Yes.
step
Oh
onto
yes.
it will.
Oh yes.
Okay.
But you will only suffocate in it if I close it. And I am thus far, like, other people have seen me use it, a couple.
Okay.
But like, I am, as far as we know, the only person who actually knows how to sort of, like, I mean, I don't really know how to use it, but
It is worth noting that Belle was not present when you used it previously, so she probably doesn't know what this is.
Okay. Cretaceo is gonna run around the outside on the left side of this, past Clarice, and try to just grapple with my teeth. But I will grapple. The intent being to grab him and then toss him into the hole.
Well, so you can grapple, you can also shove as an action.
Oh, okay.
Use your head, Rex.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my giant head and just try to shove him into the hole.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Strength check from you, and it's going to be acrobatics or athletics from Vestrin.
Okay. And that is a nat 1.
Oh.
And into the hole goes Cretaceo.
Yeah. I think on a nat 1 versus his 14,
Yeah.
you wind up in the hole yourself.
He seems like he would do just like a quick little like move out
Yeah.
the way, and then I just.
And
it sounds like he didn't even need to go that quick. He just...
And Vestrin now knows what the portable hole does.
yeah. But not all of its features, because any creature inside it while it's open can exit it. So, and it's just 10 feet. So, like, he does not know the closure mechanism.
How much movement did you need to take to get there?
25 feet.
Okay, so
I
you
still have
can't
5
really.
feet left.
But you're not going to be able to climb out. Yeah.
Okay.
Vestrin is going to look down and be like, Well, that's real cute. I've never seen that trick before.
You're gonna see it up close real soon.
He sure does think we're cute.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Is there something you want to share with the class here?
As a free action, can Belle just like sort of like poke it, like put her finger in, take it out, put it in,
interact with objects, sure.
Yeah, because she's just like, what?
Yeah.
One last thing.
Yes.
Can I take a bonus action?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna look out and see whoever looks like they might be up against Vesrin next. I'm gonna look up and give Belle a bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for the record, Belle has not indicated whose side she's on.
Yeah.
Just FYI, like
her family is in that dome.
Oh, that's true.
My family's in that dome, and also like my family
And you
came
like
off
walked up to him
completely scot-free during Malveaux's reign.
Okay.
Because capitalism always wins.
I will instead bardic inspiration at Andric because he's the next nearest person. And my bardic inspiration will be in the form of a couple lines of a song. You must be swift as a coursing river with all the force of a great typhoon.
I'm seeing this happening, like, actually as Andric is doing what he is doing, which is he takes a step back and bounds forward because he has seen the portable hole. He knows how it functions. And right as he gets to the lip of it, pushes off and is going to do a long jump over to get right next to Vestrin.
So you have to roll for a long jump, right? Or is it just
strength?
Nope.
No, you don't because of Hobgoblin?
No, because I have the athlete feat.
Okay.
Which means I can do a long jump with only 5 feet of
fabulous
starting movement.
Okay.
I did not know that this feat was going to come in this handy. But yeah, with the athlete feat, 5 feet of movement, I can automatically 5 feet instead of 10 feet. So I only need 5 feet to do a long jump.
So you're gonna start like right at up against the wall.
And just so we're talking rules wise, the way long jump works is if you have 10 feet of starting movement, you can then jump the number of feet equivalent to your strength score.
Mm-hmm.
I only need 5 feet, which I have. That's why I backed up to the edge of the dome. 5 feet, I can jump 12 feet, which I think will allow me to clear the...
Because you're jumping diagonally, it'll allow you to...
And get right next to Vestrin, sword out, and I'm hacking.
Roll to hit.
See what's happening? I'm coming in two-handed with the sword. I'm not worried about an offhand attack.
Okay.
I'm just coming in two-handed with the sword. That's only, though, a 13 to hit.
His AC is 14, so
does not hit.
Does not hit.
Bardic inspiration.
You're inspired.
Wait a minute. Since we're unloading the chambers here, I can see several allies, right?
Yes.
I am going to use the Hobgoblin feature, Fortune of the Many.
Okay.
When I miss on an attack roll or saving throw, I can add the number of allies I can see up to a +3. I'm going to burn my Fortune of the Many.
Okay.
And you know that at least Clarice and Crottatio are allies.
To turn that miss.
And Colonian.
Oh, yeah.
I came in two-handed on this, so that's 1d10 plus 1. Only a 4, but I do need Vestrin to make 4 points of damage. Slashing if it matters. And I do need him to make a charisma saving throw.
And it looked really cool.
All right, one moment.
Like leaping across the hole, and then like two-handed sword slashing. 4 damage, but looked great.
So 4 damage.
Yeah, 4 slashing damage and a charisma saving throw, please.
Charisma saving throw. Let's see. 17.
Passes. No effect. That's my turn.
Okay.
Oopsal Bards will return after these brief messages.
So do you have a bonus action, Andric?
Yeah. Having heard Crottatio as he was launching across the hole, thank you, friend. You're very strange. I know your arms are short. I have every bit of faith that you will get yourself out of that diggy hole that you're in. And
what?
I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration back to Cretacio. I have a D8 for my Bardic Inspiration, so you can add a D8.
Wow, okay.
Kelonian.
First, Kelonian is going to indicate to Angel to get out of here. Go on, Angel, get out of here. It's getting serious.
She can't really get out of the dome.
Oh,
You're in it. You're in it. Vestrin had cast a dome. It's called, the spell is a tiny hut.
Oh, but we can't get out of it.
No.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
So you can decide whether you think Angel is safer on your back in the hutch.
I'll just say, like, Angel...
take cover.
Take cover. And then...
Angel finds a conveniently chicken-shaped rock.
Right. And then Kelonian is going to bless his comrades.
Is that including Belle, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Kelonian has so much faith. What an idiot.
We're fighting the bad guy now. So everybody better be on your best game. Make sure everything goes the way we want. All right, everyone is blessed. Whenever you make a attack roll or saving throw, you can roll a d4 and add the number to the attack or saving throw. And Kelonian, this is a concentration spell, so Kelonian keeps playing.
Okay.
He's playing throughout this.
Okay.
I am going to also join the rest and give Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Seeing the lackluster jump from Clarice, Kelonian is going to direct some Bardic Inspiration her way.
I love you're just constantly inspiring each other.
Yes, and let me know when you use it, because I keep forgetting I have extra things from my school for whether you do an ability or attack or saving throw. There's like some extra stuff that happens.
Belle, it's your turn.
Okay. Guys, I feel like we don't need to be doing this right now, right? Like, we're all here. We clearly work together well. Like, why don't we just join him? And then, like, our families can probably be safe. And then we can, like, party it up.
Here, Cretacio from down in the hole. Are you kidding me?
No.
What about Clarice's mom?
Well, like, I don't make Clarice's mom's life decisions for her.
Like, mid-fight, because I've just swung the sword. Like, are you actually serious right now?
Yeah, like, my family is in the dome, and I really care about them, and, like, Jubilantia will be totally fine. Our whole thing with Maricalia is, like, don't yuck somebody else's yum, and, like, I don't know, Vestrin seems like he has, like, some legit complaints about the way his family's been treated.
Thank you, my darling.
You are so welcome. I'm going to cast Blade Ward on myself. So until the end of my next turn, I have resistance against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks.
Bonus action movement?
That is an action. Movement, I guess I'm gonna, like, sort of... So I was angling myself toward Vestrin. I'm going to angle myself away from Vestrin and sort of, like, not fully back-to-back because there's the dome behind us, but, like, more angled out.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that the others are going to start attacking me.
That's fair. And bonus action? No?
No, because all my bonus actions are spells, and I already cast a spell this turn.
Okay. It is Vestrin's turn. And he is going to kind of look around at all of you and try to figure out which of you seems to be the greatest threat. And despite the fact that Cretacio is in a hole, he's ascertaining from Cretacio's size and the fact that, like, he knows what the Thunder Thighs are capable of. He's been living on this military base for a while. He's going to cast Mind Sliver at you. It is an intelligence saving throw of 14.
Okay. What does the 8 help with?
Bardic Inspiration, you can add that D8 to any attack roll,
or
ability check,
or
saving
save.
throw.
Yeah.
You can also add a d4. Well, can those things stack?
You can roll you can roll, and when you know what you've gotten, but before what you know
what the result is,
right.
That's Bardic Inspiration.
And I've just told you
is just a straight up D4.
You can't stack them.
I don't know whether Bardic Inspiration and Bless stack.
I don't think you can stack them, but I will also, like, I've already told you what your save is. Your DC is 14, so
Okay.
you can decide once you roll.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
All right. Probably gonna have to use it. That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what? Oh,
Are you minus?
That's an 8. Never mind.
Oh.
Sorry,
Those
the
are
way
not the
that
same.
the graphics on D&D, it made it look like it was the B, but it was the 8.
Okay.
But they're next to each other.
Ah. All right. So an 8, and are you?
There's no point in using this for that.
Okay.
So, no.
Then you are going to take. It's not too bad. 4 psychic damage.
Okay. How does this manifest?
It's a disorienting spike of psychic energy into your mind.
This is what he did to.
Yeah, it's what he did to Gideon and MJ. The only difference is because he was doing this in the dark and nobody could actually like see the attack coming. I didn't give them the opportunity to make a saving throw. So just record your damage.
Yep.
Okay, and then I believe we are back to the top of the initiative. Yes, Clarice.
Clarice is going to do something a little dangerous. So she is gonna sort of fling herself again, but like more of a sprint rather than a flip this time.
Okay.
Past Andric on around the corner there. It's very small.
It's gonna be very tight, but you're tiny.
She is very small.
Yeah.
She doesn't actually have to get closer to do anything that she wants to do right now, but she's pissed.
Okay.
And she's also hoping that she can unintentionally, for Vesrin, provoke an opportunity attack for Andric with her next sequence.
Okay.
So she's gonna run at Vesrin, but like a little past Vesrin towards Belle.
Okay.
Like, does that make sense?
Like making like you're going to attack Belle, or
Well, just sort of trying to go as far as she can towards Belle.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she is gonna attempt to cast Dissonant Whispers on Vesrin.
Okay.
And what that means is she's gonna whisper a discordant melody, which you'll hear in a moment, that only one creature of my choice within range can hear. And that target needs to make a wisdom saving throw. So while you're figuring out whether or not that is gonna work, we're gonna hear the discordant melody, which is, "You're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you."
16.
The creature has succeeded. Vesrin has succeeded. It's not a failed save. But on a successful save, they're still going to take half the damage.
Okay.
They just don't have to move away from me.
All right. Roll the damage.
So my damage is going to be 17 would have been the damage.
That's what it would have been, or that's half?
That is what it would have been. So
Okay.
it should be 8. And Clarice is not gonna even really acknowledge Belle, even though her physical position means that she's now vulnerable to Belle doing something too. She is unsurprised by Belle's choice in this moment. She knew all along Belle was doing this because of her family. And so her focus is just on dealing with the immediate crisis.
So, fun little flavor thing as I'm reading the description of this. So, you have my bardic inspiration. There is a little music note that's hovering next to you that will do something when you do your bardic inspiration.
That's very exciting.
I love that.
The ability is called Mote of Potential, so I'm calling it Note of Potential.
I like it. Nice. I'm good with that. Cretaceous, you're in a hole.
Yes.
It's your turn.
All right. What is it going to take to get out of this hole?
Climbing is half your movement speed.
Okay.
It's not like you have far to go anyway.
Yeah, it's what, 10 feet?
Total.
Yeah, you don't have that far, but you do have short arms, so...
Yeah. All right. I think that'll be the main thing. I think I'm just going to try to get out. Would I technically have space between where Vestron and Clarice are and Belle in that little area?
I would say you can kind of get into the
pretty
same square
large,
as
but-
Belle.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
So you've climbed... I would say you had to move 5 feet, and then you took half of your movement speed to climb, so...
Okay.
That would have been pretty much the entirety of your movement.
Okay. Sorry, remind me, what is Clarice doing on top of him right now?
She is just focused on Vestron, but on the ground slightly between Vestron and Belle. Pretty close to Vestron, though.
Okay, the ground that I have now stepped into.
You're kind of a little bit more off to the side, but yeah. You're very
Okay.
tight.
We're very near each other. I'm just
Yeah.
also small.
Okay. That's gonna make it hard for me to do anything to him without risking.
If it helps, Clarice is fully ready to die for this. So, like, she's okay with you doing damage to her as long as it also does damage to Vestron.
No, it doesn't. I don't think there's anything I can do with us in this particular position, and none of my spells really are gonna contribute much. I'm just gonna fuck it. Let's give Clarice also my second bardic inspiration out of the 3.
So that's your bonus action, but you can still take an action.
Yeah.
Or you can hold an action.
Well, would I have the ability to close the distance to him and try to do something?
Yeah, I think that you've got
From
just
this
enough
range?
movement to
Okay. I'm gonna bite him,
Okay. Roll to hit.
and that'll be strength.
It's whatever in your actions. I think you have a bite attack.
Oh yeah. Yep. There we go. Oh my god, it's an 8 total. Oh, but I can add the
Add a D8 to it.
Add the D8. Let's use it for this one. And that's a 1. So
R.I.P.
complete
Yeah,
waste of that.
I'm sorry to inform you that does not hit.
Yeah.
All right, that's the end of your turn.
I'm picturing you're coming up to bite him, and he is busy with Clarice, but he's got a little rear view mirror, and it says "objects in mirror," closer than they appear, and you're like, "Arr."
Yeah, he just moves out of the way. I was like,
The battle continues on Oops All Bards, after a word from our sponsors.
Andric.
Yeah. Is there enough room for me to move around the edge of the dome and kind of get behind Vestron?
It's real tight, but I'll say that because Clarice is so small.
Well, and Clarice is dropped to the Clarice
Yeah.
is prone basically, right?
Yeah.
Does Vestron seem to be very much occupied by now the others who have joined this?
Vestron is not particularly concerned. But why don't you roll me an insight check?
14.
Yeah, Vestron's not particularly concerned, but you do notice that in his left hand, he keeps rubbing his thumb and his pointer finger together.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking about. Yeah, so I hit him with a sword last time. If I see him doing that, I'm actually going to aim specifically for his arm and see if I can at least get him to stop doing that, if not to go gory.
Let's try not for dismembering purposes, but you
right,
can...
but I'm going to try having picked that up, I'm going to aim specifically at his arm where he's been rubbing his hand together. Yeah, and I'm doing this two-handed.
Okay, roll to hit.
I'm going to use the Bardic Inspiration right now.
Okay.
That's 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 1, 10.
Does not hit.
Nope. All right, that's my turn.
Kilonian.
Kilonian is going to, as he's playing He looks down into the space next to him. He's thinking to himself, it feels like desperate times. Something's got to happen here. People are going to get hurt. I got to do something. So he's playing, and he's concentrating on a space next to him, and a lasso appears in that space.
I thought your previous spell you had to be holding concentration for.
Yeah, this is not a concentration.
So bless is dropped?
No, this is not a concentration
okay.
spell. Yeah.
Oh, you're doing a rope trick?
No. It's called Performance of Creation. As an action, you can create one non-magical item of your choice in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of you.
Okay.
So I'm making a lasso appear next to me.
And are you doing anything with it?
Well, I assume I will have to wait until my next turn. But yes, I will be doing something.
I wasn't sure if there was a bonus action that would allow you to do something with it.
Yeah, unless if we feel like a move action to pick it up is allowed.
I think
okay.
That's interact with object.
Okay, and I mean he doesn't technically need to be playing his guitar to keep his bless spell up, but he's gonna be like scooba dooba doo bop, shooba doo bop, skadooba doo doo.
Okay. Bonus action.
Yeah, why not? I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Andric.
Okay. Belle.
Can I do something that is not in the recording?
Yes.
Because it does not have any verbal or somatic components, so nobody would necessarily know that it's happening.
Okay.
I'd like to use Hexblade's Curse.
Okay.
Once per short rest, as a bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet to curse it for 1 minute or until the target dies, I die, or I am incapacitated. Against the cursed target, I gain a +3 bonus to damage rolls, score a critical hit on 19 or 20, and regain 4 HP if it dies.
Okay. So you just appear to be standing there.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I would like to cast Hexblade's Curse on Vesrin, obviously.
Yay, she's on our side.
Yeah, I am.
But none of you know that. So is there a saving throw or anything?
No.
Okay.
It's literally just me and my goddess compelling me to eradicate the darkness from the world.
Okay. And so tell me how does that affect his next action?
It doesn't. It just basically gives a bunch of buffs to me.
Okay.
So, against him, I have a +3 bonus to damage rolls. I score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20, and if he dies, I gain 4 HP.
Okay.
So that's my bonus action, but it is... So I don't know what you want me to record for that?
I think that we like what you've said. Like you've cast a spell, nobody can see, but like it's okay if you announce that for our audience.
Yes. Yeah, so nobody can see or hear, but I'm going to cast Hexblade's Curse, and that's going to be on Vestrin. So keep that on the DL. And then I'm going to look at Vestrin, and I'm going to say, hit the deck! And I'm going to, try to tackle him down to the ground while casting... Cloud of Daggers on the 5 feet square that we are in.
Can you cast a spell as bonus action?
Yeah, this spell is an action. My bonus action
was the Hexblade?
The Hexblade, but it's not actually a spell.
It's just
it's a curse.
Okay. All right. Great. So what does that do?
Cloud of Daggers. Fill the air with spinning daggers in a cube 5 feet on each side, centered on a point I choose within range. A creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay, so does that mean Belle is going to be taking, or that Clarice is going to be taking damage?
Yes.
Okay, and is Vestrin taking damage since you've tackled him, or?
He is taking damage because he is... Here, okay, so mechanically, he is taking damage because he's in the 5x5 square. In world, Bella's like, I'm tackling you to try to get you out of the range so that this attack hits Clarice.
Are you on top of him, so you are also going to be taking damage?
I will, but not until I start my next turn there, because I'm casting it after I enter the space.
Okay. So, all right, 4d4 damage from both Clarice and Vestrin.
No, it will be when they start their turn.
Oh, when they start their turn.
They take 44 slashing damage when they enter the spell's area for the first time, or if they start their turn there.
Okay.
But I know that Vestrin goes before Clarice. So.
All right, so it's Vestrin's turn. Vestrin is starting in this area, so 4d4 damage to start.
Yes. Also, did you want me to roll for trying to tackle him to the ground?
I think that he thinks that you're an ally, so I think that he allows himself to
hit the deck.
Yes.
I mean, she did she did announce we're going down.
Yeah. I think that's fine. I'm not going to make you roll for that. 3, 5, 6, 10. So Vestrin is going to take 10 damage. All right. So he goes, well, that don't feel very good.
Sorry.
It's all right, darling. And he's going to turn around and try to attack Clarice with his short sword. And we're saying it's with disadvantage because he is prone. Although those are both really high rolls. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. And that is going to be 8 damage. And then he's going to use half of his movement speed just in order to stand up. And that's his turn.
Great. Clarice is also on the ground and is going to try to use her movement a little creatively.
Okay.
It's the start of your turn?
Yes.
So
I'm going to take my
but don't forget your 3 bonus hit points, which you would have had from...
Yep. No. Okay, so 3, we add the buff.
And then you would add 3 more at the start of this turn.
Right.
They don't stack. They're only one at a time.
5 of the permanent hit points are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the start of the turn, 3 temp hit points come back on.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
And it's 4d4 damage. I'm gonna get 11 damage from blades. Yep, this it's consistent. I've taken a lot of damage, but what Clarice is gonna do is literally try to somersault with Vestrin into the hole.
Okay. Grapple.
Is there no way it could be acrobatic?
I think
because it's specific, okay. Let me explain what I was imagining. What I was imagining when Vestrin was still standing is that Clarice was going to tuck their tiny little feet between Vestrin's legs and then just sort of flip herself back into the hole.
Oh, I see what you mean.
All right. I will allow it.
Okay.
Acrobatics.
Thank you.
I'm still going to roll for him, though.
Yep. But we're going to use the.
Well, you have advantage on acrobatics,
yes,
right?
Yeah. But I am preemptively saying I'm also going to take Bob's bardic help on this part.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a D6.
Okay. Well, it.
And your little note pops, and you get to roll it twice and take the higher one of the D6.
Okay. So. Okay, that's the highest it could be. I rolled an 8.
Oh, an 8?
Oh, wait, I haven't added my modifier. I rolled a 13.
She rolled 2 twice, add 5, and then add the 6.
He rolled a 12.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You are both in the hole.
Clarice, from within the hole, is going to use her free action of talking. And call out.
Somebody fold it up. Please, now.
Oh no.
Not if I have something to do about it. Elonian says, swinging his lasso around.
The Bards will be right back when Oops All Bards returns after this ad break.
So we had Kelonian's loud exclamation as Clarice has said, fold up the hole. And it is Cretacio's turn.
I don't think there's anything I can do to help Kelonian, so I'm going to hold my action. I'm going to see if... I'll ready a help action if there's anything that once he's in there that I can do. Maybe I could lower my tail down or something you could grab onto.
Okay. Bonus action movement? Because you can also move closer to...
I think if he's going to jump towards where Clarice and Vestrin are, then I might as well stay where I am.
All right. Andric.
All right, so hearing what Clarice had said, I'm going to turn to Colonian. We're not going to let the little one be a martyr, right?
Not planning on it.
Do everything you can. And I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration to Colonian. So it's a D8 on my Bardic Inspiration.
That was very inspiring, Andric. Thank you.
And I'm going to cast, and then I turn and look down the hole. We can still see into the hole.
Yeah,
right?
it's only 10 feet deep.
And I'm going to cast Indecision on Vesper.
Okay, so tell me about Indecision.
The target must succeed on a Charisma saving throw or be overcome with Indecision. On a failed save, the target takes its entire turn to perform its next action. So no movement or bonus action. If the creature fails by more than 5, it does nothing on its next turn.
Okay, what's the DC on this?
14 Charisma.
That's a 5.
Well done.
So Vesrant is going to do nothing on his next turn.
Okay.
Very useful.
That is very handy.
And with that, I'm going to wait and just see if it appears that Colonian would then need any help pulling Clarice up.
So you're not moving.
I'm not going.
Okay. And Kilonian, it's your turn.
Kilonian is going to swing that lasso over his head. Swing, 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 while also scatting to keep up the blast, going zoobadoo-badabab, and then throw that lasso. Kilonian is going to aim to actually lasso Clarice. However, if the rope just gets near Clarice or in Clarice's space, that's also helpful.
Yes.
Because she could grab it.
Yes. So let's say if you successfully lasso her, I will let you actually pull. If it lands near her, Clarice gets to decide on her next turn what happens with the rope.
Yeah.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
This was like he did use his free action of talking to preview that this was coming. So is there any way for me to do anything athletic or acrobatic to be more
Yes.
doable?
Yeah. I was like, we'll basically treat this like, instead of an opposed strength check, like an assisted grapple. Okay. So
an assisted grapple. I like it.
Yeah. So let's say either Kilonian needs to roll a 15 or higher dex to successfully lasso you, or if he rolls a 10 or higher and you roll a 10 or higher, you will be successfully lassoed.
How does my health action play into this?
He gets advantage.
Okay.
Hey.
I will give you advantage by also singing a song. It don't mean nothing if it ain't got that sweet. Do up, 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 do up.
I love you guys so much. Great. So you get advantage and you also have the Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Natural 20.
Okay.
Let's go.
You can't get any better than that. So you get Clarice around the waist with that lasso, and I'm going to let you pull it in. What is your strength?
So it's not great. My strength is a 10, giving me a +0. However, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe I just grab a hold of that rope and just start running in the other direction.
We are.
There's not a lot of space to run.
Can I ask, just literally gravity-wise, like how much do you weigh approximately?
A lot, right?
Because Clarice maxes out at 60 pounds wet.
Yeah.
Like she's very small.
Yeah, you're
She's
massive.
it's like trying to pull like a second grader. Like it's not
150 pounds.
Oh,
Okay, that's smaller than I thought.
Slender Twirtle.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We
Collarbones.
established that you're a little lanky. Okay. Because this is not opposed, I'm going to just let you do this as your movement. Like, this is the same way that if you were trying to drag something.
Great.
How many feet are you able to move?
So I'm able to move 30 feet.
But like within this
Well,
space?
oh, right.
Because
I
I'm
forgot
just
that
curious
this-
if I'm going to end up dangling like a little bit.
Yeah, because she's 10 feet down.
How much? Okay, and how much? Like, I forget exactly where the perimeter goes.
You have about 5 feet behind you.
5 feet.
Yeah.
So I'm a
Okay.
pinata.
All right. Well, then I will do a combination of I will move back and also pull.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do it.
All right.
Do anything during his turn.
I move back and I pull. Pull.
Okay. I'm gonna say that you have pulled Clarice just out of the hole. Like standing in that same space as you, still attached to the rope.
All right.
Well, this is certainly going to potentially wrap up very quickly. Belle, it's your turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look around, assess the situation, and then just sort of pick up the edge of the hole and close it all up.
Wow.
Vestrin from inside of the hole is like, wait, I thought we had something. Belle, don't you want to be by my side as I rain?
Oh, sweetie. No. Also, for the record, keeping a girl's family hostage, not the best way to get a date. Bye!
Belle, you finished folding up the hole.
Yep.
As that happens, the dome that is surrounding you disappears. What are you going to do now? Are you just going to let Vestrin suffocate in your portable hole?
Belle had never actually encountered this hole before because she was in other parts of the train. So I think she's holding this.
It's like a folded sheet, basically.
Very small.
Yeah.
And she's just sort of
Yeah, Clarice is just going to come over and take it.
Great.
And stay in the hole.
And while we're having this conversation, Clarice is going to reform the folding a little so that essentially what she has looks like a little gift bag with some frills at the top so that the corners are crack openable intermittently while they discuss.
Yeah, I think when Belle was folding it up, she didn't really know what was happening, so she was just folding it the way a toddler might try to fold a fitted sheet. Just we're gathering the corners and we're putting them together, and everything else is.
Some of us are in our 40s and still don't know how
I
to
was
fold
just
a
going to say, yeah.
I didn't want to cast any aspersions on anybody's folding a fitted sheet abilities.
So are we just going to let him sit there?
Hey, what happens if you shake that thing around while he's in there?
Maybe not
Does
such a
it
great
hurt?
idea.
You guys, we're clearly going to just put him in a prison and let the adults deal with this.
Yeah,
we're not going to murder
if
him.
he dies, I don't know what happens to, the dome and my family and everybody else.
Cretaceous, where are the, prison cells?
I know what to do with him. Throw him in the brig.
Right, that's literally
It's
what...
down the street.
So you could just put him in there. You don't need to throw him in there.
I mean, I think we're gonna have to
Fine,
do a little bit of throwing just to whoop, shake it out,
Well, do what you got to do.
Clarice is already walking.
Do you know where the brig is?
No, I asked Cretaceous. He pointed. Yeah. I'm walking.
Okay.
I assume they're gonna follow.
Okay. Well, you're walking with the folded portable hole, so I think everybody. Are you all following? I'm just assuming.
Actually, is it okay if we don't?
Yeah.
Belle would like to go to the radio tower and then send out a thing that's hey guys, so we caught the bad guy and he's in a hole right now. So no worries, nobody else is coming. Maybe put out the fires because they're gonna just keep burning. But we're all good. Woo!
It's just booming, echoing over loudspeakers.
Yeah, because this is the system that's just used on base. It's not broadcasting to the whole country. This is roll me a performance check.
That's an 8, but I have a +9, so
Yes, for a 17, the sound of your voice kind of crackles all over the base, and you see, because you had to go up high for this, so from there you can kind of see just this collective sigh of relief where all of the soldiers who had been there looking around trying to figure out what is it that they're fighting.
Yeah, and where is it coming from?
Where is it coming from? They all kind of ease up a little bit.
See? That'll help.
After that, do you climb back down or do you stay up in the tower to kind of observe?
Can I look around and see if there's any way to contact Lucinda?
This is the watchtower for the base, and it's comms basically internal. Like, there are some of the echo shards that are like allowed for like basically one-way or two-way radio, like CB sort of thing. But there doesn't seem to be anything that allows you to like broadcast just to the Alcazar where Lucinda is.
Sure. So knowing that, or just knowing that she doesn't know how to work any of the other stuff except for press the big button and talk into the mic.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to press the button and talk into the mic and be like, also, if anybody knows how to contact Lucinda, maybe tell her, like, let my family go and everybody else out from the dome because we have her son. And also let Thistle go because we have her son. And it'd be a shame if anything were to happen to him. Right. How's that feel, Lucinda? Bell out.
When Bell was on the tower tall, let my family go.
Amazing.
Please tell me that was out loud, like not just an above table thing, but that you're actually Colonian. Is, like, doing this.
I like to
live.
think that she didn't press the button correctly, so everyone heard that the loudspeaker was still on.
True.
Well, yeah. Did you go up the tower with her?
Sure.
Great. So yes, the entire base here's Kelonian "Let My Family Go" song. Wonderful.
Pretty sure Belle just made her first campaign stop for potentially becoming a Triarch. She's got her own troubadour ballad. Folk hero moment.
Nice.
Oops All Bards will be back right after these brief messages.
All right. So after that, do you head back down toward the brig with your compatriots?
Yeah.
Okay. So you head toward the brig with Clarice holding this tiny little gift bag, like basically a hole in it the size of a straw, to make sure that Vestrin is able to breathe. And you see Cretacio's mom and Gideon waiting there for you.
Yeah, because Belle put out a PSA.
Yeah. Yeah, in the distance you can hear like the ringing of a bell for like not you bell, but the ringing of an actual physical bell that's alerting the fire, and there are teams that are trying to assemble. Like there's a lot of damage that's happened on the base.
But now everybody can focus on the fires
Yes.
and not on imminent doom.
Yes. When you see Gideon and Reyna at the brig, what do you all do?
Clarice is gonna glance at them and say, we got him. And then she's gonna sort of walk past them and see if she can just sort of reach into a cell and unfurl.
Okay.
I'm assuming that all cells have magic dampeners built into them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Sorry, I'm picturing Clarice holding up the baggie when she says we got him, kind of like the Ghostbusters holding up the trap in the hotel.
So I understand why that is what you're picturing, but I think Clarice actually, in this moment, is really aware that the portable hole is way more powerful and useful than maybe she fully knew before this adventure. And so she's actually not trying to flaunt it or make anybody aware she has it. Gideon does know, but Reyna doesn't, and she doesn't want it being taken by the military and used against people.
Yeah.
Clarice is in the habit of thinking about people doing the worst things possible. And so she anticipates that this is actually a potential torture instrument and all kinds of other things. And so she is more likely like carrying it under an arm, just walking past a cell, shaking it out, and trying to tuck it away pretty quickly so that it's not clear what happened and we can maybe awkwardly move on.
Yeah. So Gideon is going to kind of smile and nod at you. Reyna looks confused. Your mom is not there. And so you head over to a cell, and I'll say that you like reach the hand holding the bag through the bars and kind of just like hold onto a corner of the cloth of the portable hole and shake it out, and it dumps Vestrin into this cell. Vestrin is unconscious because you had left some air for him, but not a whole lot. So he just kind of tumbles out onto the floor of the cell, unconscious. He'll probably wake up eventually.
Does he still have his bow? Does he still have his weapons in there?
Yeah, actually.
I guess if any guards accompany them, then maybe they'll probably, like, take his stuff.
Yeah.
Folks are welcome to think about that, but Clarice is not interested in looking at this or thinking about this. Clarice is very much looking away and prepared to walk away.
As you walk away, you'll hear Reyna shouting, it's like, "Can I get some of the guards here? I need someone to disarm this man, preferably before he wakes back up." So you walk out. What do the rest of you do?
Well, there's fires still going, so I suppose, seeing as we are in the base, we should probably go help.
Belle's gonna chase after Clarice because I think she's much taller than Clarice, and is just going to like put her hands on her shoulders, like sort of like she's gonna leapfrog, but like not.
Yeah.
And just be like, never try to kill yourself like that again, okay?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I mean, I didn't want to die. I just, like, you know.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I do. Just don't.
I won't.
Andric is falling in just a step or two behind Belle and Clarice, and after that exchange, just kind of comes up next to Clarice. I know you don't particularly want this, but the hero thing kind of suits you.
Ew, you're being so corny. But then Clarice's face softens and she acknowledges that she was just trying to dissipate awkward, actual emotive human interaction.
I do also think that while Clarice says ew, Belle goes, ooh.
Andric shoots dagger eyes at Belle.
Yeah. Belle responds with a big grin and like making hearts with her hands, like.
And Andric quickens his pace and walks ahead of them.
I know we still got some issues ahead of us, but and I don't want to speak out of turn, but I have to say, good job, everybody. We really did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Clarice is struggling to figure out how to indicate to the group that she is also not interested in team bonding time right now.
Cretaceous does not pick up on this at all. All right, guys. Bring it in. Spreads his tiny arms wide for a very large group hug, which is, I guess, a normal size group hug given the size of,
Get in here, Angel.
Pulls everyone in.
Bodyguards.
Bodyguards on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bodyguards.
As you are all embracing each other, Clarice, you notice your mom leaning against a fence post near where the whisper tube drop-off is. And she's smiling at you. So it's a couple of hours later. The fires are mostly extinguished, and you are all back in the room where the talent show was supposed to be held. Everybody around you is very fatigued. Several people are stained with soot from the smoke of putting out the fires. And Gideon's going to walk over and turn on a couple of the echo shards, and you'll hear the familiar voice of Raylan Dawn shout, the tabloid reporter who has been boosted into the spotlight in the light of the crisis in Urvara. Good evening. I'm Raylan Dawnshout, reporting live from Shalomir. It's been less than 3 days since the commencement proceedings at Shalomir University of the Magical and Martial Arts were interrupted by supporters of the former autocrat Phineas Malveaux, who trapped most of the graduates and guests under an enormous energy dome while projecting an image of the former premier into the sky. And now it appears that our national crisis is over. Many thought the events at Mage and Marshall meant Malveaux was not, in fact, killed 30 years ago, but had instead been biding his time and plotting his return. I can now report that Malveaux is in fact long deceased, and the events were orchestrated by Malveaux's former Minister of Propaganda, Lucinda O'Cour, along with her son, Vesrin Dallingdellen. Dallingdellen, of course, being a rough translation of Malveaux, as he was Malveaux's love child. That's right, Urvara, you heard it here first. Malveaux and O'Cour really were lovers, and they really did have a child together.
We really are going to tell you about it.
Previous reports of their love child being a bat boy, while not wholly accurate, are understandable once you see images of Dallingdellen as a child.
Brutal.
That's
ouch.
That's not very nice.
The tabloid's coming out.
She did ask you when you first met her, like if there was any truth to the rumor that they had a love child who was bat boy.
What did
he
we
did
tell
grow
her?
up to be super hot, though, so...
We ignored her because she's trash. Obvi.
We're still learning the details of exactly what happened to bring this crisis to a close, but what I can report is this. Very early this morning, the 5 recent graduates of Mage and Marshall who had been spotted entering Sovereign House, along with Triarch Odora, Acting Secretary Stormcaller, and several members of the university faculty, came head-to-head with Dallingdellen and Talbot Sava, learned of his and his mother's plot, and managed to defeat him in combat.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, combat is a rich word for what happened, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
He did put us in a dome with him. Like, that was...
I don't think Colonian wants to be associated with combat.
Yeah,
Well, thank you, Andrew. That's very courteous of you to think about my feelings.
I maintain that pacifism is a luxury.
Political strategist M.J. Busborough, who was at Talbot Sava for reasons that are not yet clear, sent a whisper tube dispatch back to Shalomir to update the capital about the situation. Triarch Odora, who was with O'Cour at the time, reports that the former Minister of Propaganda, upon hearing of her son's defeat, gathered some of her closest advisors and disappeared, evidently shifting into another plane.
Ugh.
As soon as this happened, a loud alarm sounded across Shalomir, apparently telling Malveaux's remaining supporters to retreat, and the energy dome disappeared immediately.
Yes!
Oh, good.
I spoke to one of the dome survivors earlier this morning.
And you hear a familiar voice.
Huh? Yes, it was, it was awful. There was not a lot of food. I mean, they stuck some food, like, under the chairs. They kind of taped it there for us to find later, but, like, nothing fresh. No, there were no grapes.
Trust Belle's dad to call out the food.
And, it wasn't very exciting, and I couldn't create my own food. I have the magical ability to do that, but I couldn't do it. And, yeah, also there was some confusion about exactly where we were supposed to evacuate our waste. That wasn't fun.
Okay, does this really need to be a broadcast?
Can we see Belle, like, physically reacting to this particular...
You're all together.
Belle doesn't care about the grossness. She's just like, oh no, you didn't have enough grapes.
Do you know that person?
That's my dad. I don't know why you just reacted like that, but I feel like I don't like it.
Your feelings are valid.
I'm glad to hear he's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I also spoke with one of the mages partly responsible for the events at Mage and Marshall earlier this week, who claims he was being deployed against his will.
And then you hear another familiar voice.
Yes, I was forced to serve under... Well, I guess it wasn't really Malveaux, but I thought it was Malveaux at the time.
I know him too.
Yeah, that's our buddy.
Yes, we all know him.
I was conscripted into the service under duress after my parents were abducted. And then I was left to die by my supposed compatriots. And I would like everyone to know that I am willing to testify. After I find my parents, that is, if anybody has seen 2 satyrs who maybe are probably a little beat up and shaken, but they're looking for their son, please have them report to the Cernamiel house in Jubilantia. That will be my new residence. Because Belle Cernamiel has told me that I should move there with my family. and I would just like to thank Mr. Namiel very much for her generosity. But yes, after I find my parents, I am willing to testify against Lucinda O'Cour and any of the other collaborators. Thank you and good night.
I feel a little slighted he didn't thank me for the nice music I played for him.
Well, he was traumatized, so
Well, that's true.
Maybe he'll write you a nice letter.
Oh, that would be nice.
Though it's safe to assume the threat to our country has not been fully eradicated, due to the number of supporters required to make this happen and the fact that O'Cour is still out there somewhere, it seems like things can soon return to normal in Urvara. The Triarchs are currently meeting with the Grand Council to discuss how to prevent the next incursion before it starts. I'll have more on the story as it develops.
Okay, but like, if all the reporters are out of the dome, why do we have to listen to her?
I think it's like a dibs situation. Like, you get to the news desk first, and then you get to make the announcement. That's how it worked when I made the announcement at the tower.
Yeah, that checks out. I just, would have liked if she tried to use a fact checker.
Wait, did she mention me at all?
No.
Gideon walks over to the echo shards and turns them off and looks at all of you and says, well, really good job, everybody. Think you should get some sleep now.
We are reaching the end. The finale concludes when Oops, All Bards returns, right after this last ad break.
You are guided back to the barracks by a couple of soldiers who bear a suspicious resemblance to your friend, Cretaceous. Cretaceous, do you recognize these other soldiers?
These soldiers are related to me. These are my brothers and sisters and cousins.
Yes, yeah, it's a lot of people who are escorting you back. You each get your own escort back to the barracks, and you're all in cots that are kind of right next to each other. It's a big open room. Before you all drift off to sleep and prepare to face whatever is next for you in your lives after helping to save your country, I'd like to know if you talk or if there are any plans that you are going to be making. What happens now?
So I would assume at this point, given that message, we probably all think like the whole story is over, right? We're probably like, all right, cool. I guess it's back to life, I guess, right?
I mean, she did note that we don't know
True.
for sure that everybody, like, there had to be a lot of people involved in this plot. We don't know where they all are.
Yeah. Okay, that's true.
So you're all invited to my house for the Jubilation Festival. VIP passes, first access, behind the scenes, the works. Anytime you want to come.
Hey, thanks, Belle.
Thanks. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Sure.
Andric, they have, like, stages with moody music. I'm sure there's going to be somebody that you're going to be super into.
Clarice, come on. You know you want to.
It's very kind, but Belle knows. We'll find each other when the time is right.
Okay. Standing invitation. Next year, year after, whatever.
Yeah, understood.
Was Kelonian gonna play?
You'd been trying to recruit Kelonian
I've been trying to recruit
okay.
Kelonian to play.
I thought wasn't sure if it was going to be a situation where Kelonian's like, oh, thanks for the VIP passes. And you'd be like, you were coming anyway.
No. Belle would be like, Kelonian, like, if you don't want to play, you don't have to, but also, like, I have a slot for you. And honestly, after all of this, I think it'd be super big.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
Only took overthrowing a potential insurgent to finally get Kelonian Stumps to agree to play at my fest.
Clarice is gonna sort of begin to draw back over the course of settling in for the evening. She is gonna try to have an individual little aside with each person, but the Jubilation Festival is not her scene.
All right, so let's see your little individual asides.
When Clarice is able to sort of slump near-ish to Cretaceous. Presumably, he's trying to avoid his family.
A little, yeah.
So she gives him sort of like the high sign, gives him a look so that he has an excuse to come over and lean against the wall with her. And she'll just sort of say, I appreciate you helping us, and I just, there's more than one way to make your family proud. Don't let this hero narrative thing trap you into being someone you're not.
Yeah, thank you. I've got a lot to think about what I want to do next. It's not so bad being back here, and I mean, there's a talent show here. I never thought that type of thing would happen, but I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for understanding.
Yeah. Change doesn't happen overnight, so, remember, you can't keep running from things. You gotta find the place that's worth it to you to stay and make the change that you want there.
Yeah. Thanks.
And then Clarice is going to, separately, probably a little later, find Colonian and congratulate him at first about the fact that he's going to be playing the Jubilation Festival, and offer a couple words of advice and encouragement, just to sort of say, I know it's not who you are, but fame is a pretty good way to make people listen. And you can kind of throw your weight around if you've got an audience. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there more. And, if you're in government offices or doing any lobbying or stuff, use my name if you can't get in the door.
I really appreciate that, Clarice. You've been a good friend, and always appreciate how you fill up my mug. You save some breadcrumbs for little old angel.
I'll be thinking of you and keeping an eye on your career. So I look forward to seeing what you do.
Oh, thank you, Clarice. Same to you. I look forward to seeing what you get up to him.
Well, we hope nobody sees what I'm actually doing.
Sorry. I don't know why I just was so tickled by that. I think it was the both of you going, ah, ha, ha,
ha. When Clarice has the occasion to sort of see Andric in a reflective place and on his own, she's actually...
And just, he's writing a letter.
Yeah, well, that's convenient because she's going to be pulling 2 small items out of her equipment bag and bringing them over. And without interrupting the writing, she is going to set down some sealing wax and her signet ring. And just sort of nod and say, I'll read it if you write.
So you really mean to go?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, this is not where I need to be.
I think we understand each other.
Good looking out.
Me too.
I'm sorry, what? Your signet ring...
I've given him essentially an ability to, when sending a letter to me, to indicate...
Oh, that it's actually worth reading. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry. I was like, that's not how addresses work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is sealing wax and a signet ring that I will recognize means that he is contacting me.
Cool. I dig it.
And that is also, just so you know, it was in my equipment. You should add it to yours. And then with Belle, Clarice is going to have a very different interaction where with all the others, she's been sort of patiently pacing it out and timing it. She's going to try to give Belle the most memorable farewell possible. And so she's gonna do a little acrobatics check.
Love it.
Yes.
We're gonna see if she can do a solid tumbling pass from their days in childhood, if she can get some good gymnastic energy going here.
Okay.
She is not going to do well.
What was that?
That was a total of an 8. I rolled a 3. So she's going to, from across the room, call out to Belle, and then start to run, and then sort of stutter step instead of going into the tumbling pass that she was hoping to go into, and instead just do like a couple really awkward, painful looking somersaults. But at the end, she's gonna still try to spring back up into a nice little proud little gymnastic stance to see if Bella's entertained.
Bella's like so bemused because clearly they had done tumbles when in their youth, and she's gonna be like, wow, that girl, you need to practice a little more.
Yeah, I mean,
but you stuck the landing.
Just for you, girl. I only want to take a second of your time. I know you've got a lot going on, but just want to say it was nice to, recatch up with you. And obviously, I know it's not on your mind right now, but like when the time comes and you run for office, don't you dare hire a campaign manager without talking to me.
I don't know what you're talking. I'm not gonna run for office, but thank you. If I ever run for like anything ever, I will talk to you.
Just before you make your big hires. Okay?
Sure. Okay. Belle's like nodding very seriously, like, yes, 100%. She's like, I don't know what she's talking about. But generally, Belle thinks consulting Clarice before making any large decisions that involve anything with politics is probably a good call. So she's fine with agreeing to it. She just doesn't know why it would ever come up.
As you wrap up that conversation, Clarice, your mom appears in the doorway to the barracks. Clarice, there's a train tonight if you'd like to come with me.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thanks. And Clarice is gonna grab her stuff and walk to the door, and
she's going to get tackled into a full glomp, if we can go back to the early 2000s, flying tackle hug from Belle.
Clarice will not fight it.
Where is this taking place? We're still in
near the door in the barracks.
All right, we're all gonna notice, and we're all gonna come over.
Oh my god, you guys! I literally said goodbye already.
We're saying it again.
Goodbye.
And Clarice, with a heavy sigh at the end of the note, goes, goodbye.
Clarice, before you go, I got a little song. I want to play a little song for you and for all of us.
Love it.
On this occasion. I wrote this song for Angel. I found Angel deep in the forest and promised to take Angel home someday. And we've been journeying a lot together, and, I think these words have new meaning for us. You've been out in the woods so long. The whole wide world is a tangled mess of wrong, and the journey is long, but I've got a walking stick. Come on, I'll be there when you come walking on home. The sun left you hiding behind a rain cloud, and the wind bit you when you walked into the foggy shroud. The world did you wrong when it put you out and around, but I'll go beside you now when you come walking on home. Ooh. Ooh, somewhere out there's a truth we're gonna find, and someday, somewhere, understanding will be yours and mine. Don't know where or when, but oh, in the meantime, I'll be just behind when you come walking on home.
Clarice is appreciative of the song, but desperate to not cry again in front of everybody. So she's just gonna sort of dig in her pocket and pull out a little bit of change and just sort of chuck it in the case and give a nod and then walk away.
All right, Clarice and her mother exit. And what I'd love to know as the evening wraps, what are all of your plans after tonight? Let's start with Cretaceous.
I think I'm going to stay here for a few days, maybe. At most. You know, get to know my family a bit better. It's been a while since I've seen some of them. I mean, I have brothers and sisters and siblings who are twice the size they were last time I was here. And maybe talk with Theseus, and maybe I can workshop this talent show or an arts department of some sort within the army here with Theseus. I don't know, but... And last but not least, I think I have some talks that I need to have with my mom. She's been more supportive than I ever thought she would be since coming back here, but maybe it only goes so far. So, for the next few days, I highly doubt the production company back in the city will miss me. Nor do I think they are going to return to business as normal for a few days at least. So, yeah, I'm going to stay here for a bit.
Andric.
After the night goes by, Andric catches the next train back to Shalamir and Magen Marshall, because he is going to return the sword to its rightful place in Urade Hall. Goes back, places it above the Everhearth, and then, knowing that Malveaux's loyalists bade their time for 30 years, and there are forces out there that have been waiting much longer, probably amassing strength somewhere else, as well as Malveaux's folks still out there. There's work to do. And first and foremost, there is a really unhappy kid who's missing his parents. And someone needs to go find them.
Aww.
Okay. Kelonian, what are you and Angel going to be doing?
That night, while the camp is asleep, Kelonian is going to quietly get up, gather his belongings together, invite Angel to jump up on the chicken coop on his shell, and is going to walk out into the night and walk away down the road.
Are you playing as you walk away?
Yes, playing a little. Just walking on down the road.
Where are you headed?
Ooh,
wherever the road takes you?
Wherever the road takes me.
Clarice, tell us.
Clarice is going to be working on divisions within the country, sort of in a related way to what Andric seems to be thinking. But it's clear that the way forward politically and in terms of justice and the structure of the nation is going to require a lot of listening and hard work and strategy to figure out how you get these factions that were willing to rise up to buy back into a justice system. And so Clarice is going to join her parents' consultancy, but she is not going to be working as a campaign strategist. Rather, she's going to try to create her own branch that's looking at sort of restorative practice in politics.
Amazing. And last but not least, Belle.
So I think Belle sleeps through the night, wakes up, and she's she gets up and she's ready to like do her morning, dance like sun salutations, worship to her goddess, and she looks around and everybody's gone.
Cretacio's still there.
No, I'm
presumably if it was the next morning, I think I would have gotten up and joined in some morning PT with the others.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Belle wakes up and everybody's gone and she's just like, they are all so bad at goodbyes. I mean, whatever. So just like sort of a loving annoyance on Belle's part of like, all right, everybody had to sneak out dramatically in the night. Okay. And then after that, she's definitely going straight back home. She's very eager to see her family, to hug them, to know they're okay. But then after that, there's the festival coming up, and there's a lot of planning already to be done. But with all of the stuff that's going on, you have to make sure that there's extra safety measures, make sure that everybody feels safe, make sure that everybody is safe. But also, Jubilantia was a haven during the last reign of Malveaux, and making sure that after this that it continues to be a place that anybody can go if they are not feeling safe, and making sure that it really is safe, like it's safe and welcoming, but actually so I think Belle and her family have a lot of work to do.
Great. So all of you are heading off in your own directions, having helped to save the country. And that is a wrap on Oops All Bards Season 1.
Yay! Oh my God, we made it. Thank you all so much for joining us for the first season of Oops All Bards. We have one more barbecue episode coming out in about 2 weeks, and then we're taking a little break. But Oops All Bards will be back with Season 2, I don't know, sometime in 2025. And we'll probably drop some content periodically on your feed in the meantime, so be sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. And hey, also, I don't know, maybe give us a rating or leave us a review while we're on hiatus. That would be awesome. As always, I've been your host, Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy, and on behalf of everyone here at Oops All Bards, thanks so much for listening. We'll see you again in 2025. Oh, and be sure to keep listening after the credits for a little extra from us to you. Bye for now.
Oops All Bards is created, GM'd, and directed by Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy. This episode was produced, edited, and sound designed by Nate Runkle. Oops All Bards stars Ashley Banks as Belle Cernamiel, Ann Coleman as Clarice Sauercloud, Ross Curry as Andra Carohold, Tage Sinha Das as Cretaceo Thunderthigh, and Bob Killian as Colonian Stumps. The Oops All Bards theme song is by Bob Killian, with additional lyrics by Jillian Ashley Blair Ivy. Oops All Bards is executive produced by The Porch Room. We are part of the Porch Room Network on Spreaker Prime. For more information, visit oopsallbards.com. Thanks, and be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to Oops All Bards on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your podcatcher of choice. And follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Oops All Bards. We'll see you next time.
Oops, it's all Bards. Oh, what a mess.
Another quality podcast from the Porch Room.
Hello, friends. Yes, it is I, Belle Cernamiel, talent coordinator for the Jubilation Festival and recent hero of the realm. Thanks to our dear friend Raylan Domchout, you already know how my classmates and I served as bodyguards for Acting Secretary of War Gideon Stormcaller, and also totally defeated the son of Phineas Malveaux, Veswin Dallin, who wanted to reclaim Urvara and also totally had a crush on me. Anyway, two of my fellow bodyguards, Keylonian Stumps and Cretaceous Thunderthigh, who fellow major martial alums may recognize from Jams and Jams and Jams sessions. They are phenomenally talented musicians and truly amazing. So Keylonian wrote a song about our adventures, right? And I asked him and Cretaceous to come here today to sing it for you. Yeah, I know, right? I think you agree with me that it's going to be a massive hit. So without further ado, I present to you Keylonian Stumps and Cretaceous Thunderthigh performing Oops, It's All Bards.
Alright, let's shake it. You wanted monsters all slain by their betters, but you ain't seen nothing like hearts and letters. Look who has answered the cry of distress. Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess. You think we're a joke, but in truth we're all id. We fight like we learned it in books, cause we did. We all survived college with charisma impressive. Oops, it's all bards, and yes, it's excessive. If you're still confused, we'll explain to you thus. There's nobody left, that's why they called us. We'll fight or we'll otherwise roll for successes. Oops, it's all bards, we hope that addresses all that you have to know to enjoy listening to our all-bard parties and off on a mission. How will it go? Well, we're sure you can guess. Oops, it's all bards. Oh, what a mess. Yeah, peace and love. Oh,
Crowd goes wild. Woo!